Hey, buddy, this is Amy Elias, and I'm here to create a little bit of a moment of respite for you, to awaken to the divine intelligence that your body possesses. That once you just align to that and give it some time and space, you can actually have a time where you can connect to this deeper sense of who you are. So let's just start in a very gentle pose by breathing in. Your palms could be down on your legs. So we know that I'm catching you perhaps in the middle of your workday. Maybe you're on vacation, but whatever that is, we're here together. So breathe into whatever touches the ground beneath you. Let the breath pool, if you're sitting down, into the base of your pelvis. If you're lying flat, then breathe into the whole entire back plane of your body. If you're standing, tap into the soles of your feet. And then very softly just tap in a little bit deeper. Every inhale, pulling that breath awareness down. So like Bessel van der Kolk, he says that the body keeps the score. How oftentimes do we get uprooted in a day? We get hot under the collar and we get angry. And then we get like a little pissed off. And that's what this practice will address, is looking and working with your kidney and bladder meridian, which goes along the sides of your spine and up the inner edges of your legs and around the abdomen, all around. So it's a very beautiful way of connecting and helping you get unpissed off, just to give yourself a little space. So let's go ahead and open up the soles of the feet and come into what we call like a butterfly pose. So it doesn't have to be like super wide. If your legs are forward, that's okay. If you can come in a little bit closer, that's even terrific. So just kind of feel like that's why we call it butterfly. So inhale here and get tall. And exhale, just lean a little bit forward. You could take a block and you can utilize that to either A, rest upon your ribs and hold to support you as you fall forward. And breathing here, tapping into the breath. Breathing and noticing. Your midday interlude. So as we're here, we're going to tap into this introspective place where we can become just the mere fact that it's a forward bend and that we're looking within brings this body into this introspective place. So tap into this inner presence where we can slow down the 78 Victrola, as they say, to 33 RPMs. And go super slow, tapping into your breath. As you breathe into the backs of the lungs, we get to invite a different type of presence than if we're always forward moving and open up from the front body. So breathe in all three directions with your consciousness. Let the light of your awareness breathe forward, to the sides, to the back, and soften and release. Nice. So come on up and inhale very slowly and softly and lovingly. You can remove your block if you have one. I'm going to come into Sphinx pose, which is forearms are on the floor. The elbows are slightly ahead of your shoulders. I'm going to lengthen the spine. So pointing the toes away, coming super slow and melting the heart. But as you melt the heart, you're pulling with your hands open and fingers like starfish. You're clawing the floor and you're lifting the sternum up and out of the hip structure. So feel the sternum rising out of the waistline and lengthening and breathing here. When we slow down the breath, we slow down our mind, we actually give ourselves the opportunity to create wealth of health. We create wealth and health by conscious connection to who we are. It's not just about exercise. It's about how can we slow the body down? How can we remember that there's a divine intelligence that's available to us, that the body knows how to heal itself, if every day we give it the attention it needs. Let's take 6 more breaths where you inhale and expanding the ribs to the side walls, front of the room, back behind us. We pause. And then we exhale. We pull the belly button in and the ribs close around the lungs. And we pause. When we inhale, the orb of our heart is getting massaged by the fullness of the lungs. And then we exhale, the lungs contract around the heart, and the jellyfish-like motion of the diaphragm floats up and behind the ribs. 2 more like that, inhaling. And very softly come down, take your fingertips next to you and lift yourself to come on up and sit right back. Come onto your bottom and expand and extend your legs out from the hip structure. So from here, you can go ahead and lift up the fleshy part of your booty and extend it out. You can get tall and hold onto the blocks. This would be step 1. Step 2 is hinging at the crease line of your hips, forearms on the block for support. And step 3, you could come down and maybe you're going to rest your forehead on here or 2 blocks, allowing all the thinking structures of the mind, the thought streams that keep us away from this relaxed state of healing. Again, we're breathing, we're forward prone this way. So as we're breathing into the back plane of the body, we want to feel the lungs extend and expand behind us like balloons, and under our armpits, out like the gills of a fish, and forward. If you feel like this was a great stretch for you and you want to come a little bit deeper, then go ahead and press yourself into the floor and extend open a little bit more. And perhaps you'll adjust your arms. Maybe this is where you're not going to be going down. This body has the divine intelligence. I know it each and every time with myself, with people I've worked with. And as soon as you seek alignment, everything else kind of stacks itself up upon that. Like any good building, with a firm, wonderful foundation, anything can happen. Anything get built upon it. And prana, energy, shakti moves through this living being presence that we are. And last breath, take a nice breath. This is a wonderful thing to do before you go to sleep at night. It kind of melts and relaxes the nervous system. So come on and inhale up very slowly. And then come back and extend yourself to extend over with straight legs. Again, you can take your block and you can put it on your lap. You can stay here. This would be step 1. Maybe step 2 is here. And just breathing. Maybe you could hold your toes or the backs of your knees. And again, pause. If this is a place where you can go, fantastic. If you need to have a pillow, that's great. We'll stay here for another 90 seconds. Knowing that this vacation in the day enhances your whole being. The way that you'll respond versus react in a conversation. The way that you'll have a little more insight and tap into your wisdom that you have within yourself, that it's not easily accessible when we're fired up, when we're pissed off, when that kidney and bladder meridian are not working at their optimal place. So that bladder meridian is getting stretched on either side of the spine. And then softly inhale, last 2 breaths. Inhale, feel the fullness in the back and the sides and the front of the lungs. And exhaling, feeling how the heart gets massaged, making us feel a little bit more heart-centered and wisdom-based as we tap in. Last breath. And when you're ready, very gently inhale, lift up the chin, dive and come on up. And let's come sit right back onto our sit bones. You can roll up your mat to create a sense of a lift for the low back. So if your back hurts you and you have more of a C curve versus a, so rather than sit like this, rounding, this rolled up kind of gives you a little bit of a perch. It sends energetically up through the sacrum, up through the heart. So staying here, just breathing and noticing that you can breathe into what touches the floor as we begin. Resetting yourself for the rest of the day until you decide to lather, rinse, repeat this. And then very gently and lovingly honor yourself. Take your hands to your heart and you can bow or not. But it's all about surrendering the mind to the wisdom of the body. Namaste. This is Amy Elias, and I hope you have a regenerative day and that you're feeling a little bit more relieved. Maybe you didn't know that you were feeling a little uptight, but this will offer a little bit of a sense of connection to yourself. Thank you.